A few days ago, we showed you how the ANC was buying votes at the very low price of one loaf of bread per vote. Some EFF members rightly identified this as an insult to ANC supporters. However, they do not seem to realize that they too are selling their vote at a very low price.
I'm a fighter trust. Join an EFF, sidla kamnandi ku-EFF madoda. One vote, one KFC. Hayi one vote, one loaf. Nekeleni nombuso wama-ANC we-corruption. One vote, one KFC. Join EFF.
Why are people like this? Why are people willing to be used for KFC? Someone is going to say it's because of poverty and hunger, but I beg to differ. For generations, there have been people in dire poverty who were not willing to sell out. They would rather go to bed with empty stomachs, to their graves with nothing to their name, than to allow themselves to be used or bought. This is happening because bit by bit, the people of our nation have abandoned honor and dignity. Many have prioritized fun and games, the soft life. They like silly, loud, unproductive gatherings that always create chaos of some kind. They go all out to dress provocatively in order to dance in unison while drunk, or dancing in unison as a mob in support of depraved, corrupt, and uncivilized leaders and causes. This is their style. Chanting, shouting accusations and lies, drawing attention to themselves. That is a life that many have chosen in our nation. Listen to Prince Mashele here.
And the South African political landscape responds better to noise than substance, unfortunately. That's why the EFF is growing faster than this rational. I mean, think of it. There was a party called Agang South Africa led by Mamphele Rampel, right? Mamphele Rampel, with a record of leading the World Bank, UCT, and so on, she could not attract voters to her cause. Why? Because she was not a noisy politician, very rational, wants order, and so on. So my worry about this new political party is that they are not appealing they're not appealing to the kind of voters who vote for the EFF. And remember, the voters who vote for the EFF, that pool is actually bigger than the rational middle class voters.
Responding better to noise than to substance. Are you not insulted when you realize that he's actually talking about you, the typical EFF, MKP, and ANC supporters? Are you not embarrassed to be a person that picks what is popular over what is beneficial? How long are these politics going to work in South Africa? I mean, the fact that the ANC, MKP, and EFF combo got 64% of the votes in the 2024 elections is proof that these politics have been working. Look at the results of that type of voting.
on your ram.
The politics of no facts, just screaming insults. The politics of screaming so-and-so is racist, singing Tubulipunu, shoot the Boer. Those are the politics at work. And to show that the leader of the party supports these types of politics, just listen to how Julius has raised his own son.
Down with Africans, down! Down with this name, down! Down with Hitler, down! Down with this racist magistrate, down! Amanda! Away, two! Thank you very much.
Are you not ashamed when you realize that there is no room for thinking in most of the politics that we are discussing as a country? Are you not concerned that many of us basically do not use our brains, but simply go with the he is black, therefore we vote for him, she is white, therefore she is racist type of flow? It's no wonder then that all that the politicians have to do is to say, bring your entire family, we will transport you, we will transport your children. We will take you to the venue and bring you back to your homes. We will even buy you some KFC and give you 100 Rand. All you have to do is just show up and act like you're a big supporter. Protest in support of our leaders, regardless of what our leaders have or have not done. Please listen to what former EFF leader had to say about the EFF's actions.
I think it's childish to play with guns, whether it's real or toy guns. If it's a toy gun, it's even worse.
Yeah.
I think it's childish. So I was there. I think the issue is sub judice. I don't know whether it's a toy gun or a real gun. I didn't touch it and everything else there. But I think general to play with guns is childish.
So you see,
and if it's a toy gun, it's even much more childish.
So you saw something wrong with it.
I don't associate with that. It's not my culture. It's not my style.
But are you not advising him to be like, don't do that, comrade?
People can do whatever they want to do. There's a lot of less than desirable things which many people that we work with do, and we just observe.
So did you mention this though? Like, because he says he was your guy. Did you say, hey, my man, I don't think that move was the smartest, bro?
Like, I'll tell you something that since 2018, if you were to calculate the amount of money that has been spent on lawyers and busing supporters to go and say hands off CIC, it's possibly about 50 million rand because of childish behavior. I don't associate with that. And I generally, even when I was in the EFF, because I attended some of the court cases, I was like, why should we leave the work of going to interact with branches on the ground and come and sit there in those hard benches for the whole day?
Now, knowing that these people lie with straight faces, the amounts used to bus people and feed them may be a lie, but it could also be true. Mind you, do you notice how it's only after he has left the EFF that he now realizes that a lot of the money was being wasted? Or maybe he was just too scared of the EFF dictator to stop the busing of people. Anyway, the main point is we have seen how new t-shirts have been printed, how many people have been buzzed, how they've been fed, and some even flown to the Eastern Cape to support their CIC. I doubt that it's been cheap, but it's a price that they are willing to pay as they play a game that is meant to intimidate the nation into believing that the so-called leader is loved and supported. Floyd Shibambu probably does not have as much money to do the same, hence his own political ambitions are not doing so well.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
There is no real support for the man. Actually, there shouldn't be any support for him when we consider things like the VBS scandal. There shouldn't be support for the EFF either when we consider that the school that was promised in order to educate the black smart children from poor backgrounds has not been built, even though it has been years since the promise. We can bus and fly people to go and doi for the EFF dictator, but we can't pay to build the school that we promised. We can buy t-shirts and KFC for the people to doi, but we can't build the school that we promised. All of this says a lot about the caliber of South African voters. People who are willing to forget about the promise of quality education for their children in exchange for a t-shirt and KFC. People who forget that the party leader is prioritizing foreigners over them as soon as they put a DJ and performers in front of them to make them dance. The South African politicians have understood you. They know you. They know that where there is food, alcohol, music, and dancing, it's over. You will be there. You will chant their slogans. You will sing their praises. What a sad case. Anyway, that's it for today. We need to rise above a state where free things are our biggest weaknesses as voters. So please share this video with other voters. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Katlego. This is Citizen Concerned. And until next time, beware of the comrades.